2NURFM News for our sponsor Guardian Jewellery, Toronto Town Square and the Esplanade, Warners Bay.
It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Annabelle Regan with 2NURFM Hunter News. Patterson MP Bob Baldwin is calling for Federal Minister for the Hunter, Joel Fitzgibbon, to clarify his position on last week's decision by Newcastle City Council to move its investment portfolio away from banks that invest in the mining industry. Initially, Joel Fitzgibbon said the move was misguided and astounding, but later said the move made sense before finally calling on Council to withdraw the decision. Bob Baldwin says Joel Fitzgibbon is sending mixed messages.
Do you stand with those who work in the mining industry in the Hunter, or are you walking away from them? Because they're saying one thing to one audience and another to another audience. People need a clear, consistent message of support. This region is built on the back of mining. And for those that say it's in decline, this month has seen one of the highest export months for coal in our region.
However, Joel Fitzgibbon has hit back, saying he does support the region's mining industry.
Well, Bob Baldwin's just wrong. He's making things up. I'll leave the politics for him. I'm just concerned about the Hunter's economy and, of course, jobs in our local region.
A lack of parking at the proposed Wickham Transport interchange is causing concern, with claims being made that a number of available spaces at the site will be severely underwhelming. The claims state that the site will only feature 2 taxi ranks and 4 drop-off spaces, with little space remaining for buses and day parking. A number of ideas have been put forward, including the suggestion that the government buy the store and incorporate it into the project. Member for Newcastle Tim Crackenthorpe says a decision on that idea is yet to be made.
I'm meeting with these government agencies in the very near future and certainly hope to have a good bit of input there and try and resolve it. But the government need to make a decision on whether or not they're going to buy the store, and we'll just have to wait and see.
New survey results have been released which show the majority of the Hunter's respondents oppose any cuts to penalty rates for workers. The results were released alongside a new campaign, Save Our Weekend, in an attempt to protect the penalty rates. Shop Distributive and Allied Employers Union Newcastle Secretary Barbara Nebbett says support for the campaign has been high.
Well, so far we're getting good support. The research that we've done and polling that we've done so far, and we're not finished by any means, has shown that the community supports keeping penalty rate, even something as simple as our honk if you support penalty rates wobble boards. You know, people are constantly honking as they go past, so even something as simple as that, the majority of cars are supporting.
Revitalisation forums have revealed greater support for the proposed light rail service in Newcastle. The forums held by Urban Growth New South Wales over the weekend saw a number of people who were opposed to the concept change their views after walking tours at the entertainment precinct and civic station. The forums form part of a 6-week city revitalisation consultation process. Insurance battles continue for Dungog City Council as they await the approval of their claim after April's superstorm. As a result, 18 residents of the Allison Court Community Housing Complex have been unable to move back in. The council's insurer, Statewide Mutual, are determining whether damage caused to Allison Court was a result of stormwater or floodwater. Mayor of Dungog, Harold Johnson, says both councils and residents' patience is running thin.
We are still waiting for a decision from our insurance company. All I can say is that comes a time where patience with everybody, the community and council, it all gets a bit stressed.
Obesity in the mining industry will be one focus of the 2015 New South Wales Health, Safety and Environment Conference being held in the Hunter Valley this week. Starting today, nearly 500 miners and industry professionals will be hearing from industry experts, including dietitians and doctors. Other important issues which will be covered by the 3-day conference include the impacts of mining on the environment and the community. In finance, the All Ords is down 79 points at 51.96 and $1 is buying 71.41 US cents.
Sport for our sponsor Warners Bay Sports Club Fishing Expo September 13.
The Newcastle North Stars have defeated Melbourne Ice 3-2 in the grand final of the Australian Ice Hockey League. The win will be the 5th time Newcastle has taken out the Goodall Cup, but the first time since 2008. The Knights' season is still on the line in next week's final NRL round, but coach Danny Badeiros is preparing for the future. While the club looks for a full-time replacement for Rick Stone, with Premiership Michael Maguire now entering the mix, Badeiros has helped put the fight back in Newcastle's performances. He says the likes of Joe Tarpany, Danny Levi and Sam Mataora will have the club in their hands in 2016.
I'm glad our fans got to see those guys experience rugby league at the top level against the Dogs. But yeah, what they need to do, be confident having an off-season, having a break, and then come back into pre-season and be so hungry and make sure this club gets back to where it needs to be and where it wants to be.
And Western Suburbs have earned the bye from week 1 of the real NRL finals, with Cessnock to host Central and Lakes taking on Macquarie. That's sport. I'm Georgia Lupton.
2NURFM News Time is 2:05.